Here we have the new 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Now this one comes in the XRT trim level. I'm glad to see that for this year. And then we get Atlas white on black H-Tex interior. And the powertrain consists of a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's mated to an 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission. And sorry about the noise, I'm just right by the interstate. It's packed in this parking lot, there's nowhere else to film. But as I come around to the front end here, we have our LED daytime running lights along with LED headlamps. And the lights don't flash like that. That's just how my camera always picks these up. But as I said before on the 22s, 23s, I love this front end on the Santa Cruz and the Tucson. It was weird at first, but I've just grown to love it. Now down here we have 18-inch alloy wheels, and I love that red center cap there. It just looks so sporty. And we also have these fixed running boards there. And I just like the overall design, just having the matte black look to go with this Atlas white. It just makes it look fantastic. Now as we come over here, we have our one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, and then just regular power windows for the back. Rear window lock there, power door lock controls, pick a side for the power mirrors and adjust using that dial. And then we do have blind spot monitors in the side mirrors there. And then over here, traction control, bed lamp, and then brightness for the gauge cluster, manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And there is our power driver's seat. We have two-way power lumbar support. And I want to give a huge shout out to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But so far, pretty impressed. But let's take a look at this window sticker. So you get quite a few standard features here. And then this sticker's right at $41,425. Let's go ahead and check out this rear seat room. Bottle holders there. Scoot these over if I can. Oh, they're stuck under the seat, so I'll show you how to do that. You can fold this up, and I'll actually just throw that over there for the time being. And we can do that for both sides by pulling that strap up, and then you have to do the same thing when letting it down. But I'll show you the room. It's not going to be much. I was very careful on how I adjusted the seat this time, so that's pretty much my perfect driving position right there. I like to sit up a little bit for my posture, and then I scooted the seat back and down. So not terrible room, but I wouldn't be necessarily comfortable doing this for a longer trip. But that's pretty much all of these smaller trucks. But I do like that we have enough space in between the seat, and then even that protruding bottle holder there to fit my knee there without having to squish it behind the seat itself. But this seat does not fold down, I do not believe. That's interesting. I like that we get the LED dome lights though. Then grab handle here. And then we have a hanger hook. We can hang a couple plastic hooks or several metal hangers. If I can get out of here. So there's the fuel cap there. And let's come around to the back end. So we do get the LED tail lamps. Like that look there, and I love the badging, just how everything's blacked out there, especially that XRT badge. It's very clean. But a look underneath the vehicle, we do have that spare tire there. And then we can pull that tonneau cover. And then over here, we have a 115 volt 3-prong plug-in. So you can see that. And then we pretty much have the same storage over here on the right side without the plug. But a pretty usable cargo space in my opinion. Then you also have this additional space as well, which is nice. That's kind of push button activated. You just click that there. It was pretty neat. We're gonna come around to the rear passenger side here. And then if you wanna use the sliding rear window, pretty easy to use. And I like as well that we get the seat back pockets on both sides. I know a lot of manufacturers are trying to be cheap with that, but it's nice on this XRT that we have it on both sides. And then we have a manual seat over here on the front passenger. Glove compartment, owner's manuals, all that. Pretty good sized glove compartment in my opinion, especially for a small to mid-sized pickup truck. But the overall styling of this, it doesn't get old, at least not yet. When it came out, it was just so futuristic. And honestly, it's held the test of time compared to all these newer vehicles that are coming out. So I'm curious to see if they'll redesign this in the next couple of years and just see what Hyundai comes up with next. But there's that 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. The hood's rather heavy, but I like how it doesn't slam when you close it. Now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat here. So it's extremely hot outside, so I have the fan up. I'm gonna try and turn it down so y'all can hear me better. Love having this leather wrap steering wheel here, feels nice. And I've said this before, I love just the design of these newer Hyundai wheels. It looks so, again, futuristic. Now over here we do get this upgraded screen. There's our home page, and then we have our menu options here. So there's our navigation screen, and then we can type in a destination. You can use voice recognition if you want to, but you can just start typing in a random store. So let's say I want to find the nearest Publix. It'll pull up stuff that's close, and then I can just hit the Publix and it'll show me every single Publix within whatever distance. And then I can pick that there, and then I can decide what's the best location or what's the closest location. You can also, of course, just type in a regular address, something like that, and get it going that way. And then we do have AM, FM, XM, along with Bluetooth audio, and then we have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. And then you use the radio. I'll go in there and show you that real quick. You can go through the bands here, and then you can add that to your presets there just by hitting that button. So it's a pretty easy system to get used to, even though it's all a screen here. We do have soft touch buttons down below, so if you hit that star there, you can set up your favorite buttons, whether it's for the steering wheel or that custom button there itself. So pretty neat to be able to change those there. And then backup cameras there, guidelines follow you should turn the steering wheel. Ooh, excuse me. And then you go over here to setup. We can go to our vehicle settings, and then all of that is there, convenience, etc. And then general settings here, click that, and you can go ahead and change the date and time. And then also language, and then your units here. And I like that everything's right here in the screen. If you want to change miles, kilometers, Fahrenheit to Celsius, whatever, you can do that. But down here we have our dual zone automatic climate controls. We can adjust the fan speed here, as you might have seen me do earlier. And then we can adjust the fan direction here. And then we can diffuse, rear defrosters are on either side, and we can adjust the temperature. And I will say, I'm not usually a big fan of the soft touch, but in the Hyundais here, I have grown to love it because it's very, very fast. And then it also reads you pretty well. But we can turn that auto mode on there, and then to turn that off, you just adjust the fan speed. AC toggles here. And then down here we have a 12 volt, a USB port for the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then a second USB port that's made just for charging. And then our wireless charging pad indicators right here, and you can use that right here, additional storage. And then to shift that dual clutch, just pull the lever behind, reverse neutral drive, and then you can come over here, manually shift from the shifter, or the paddle shift is behind the steering wheel, and then that number will change based on how you're shifting. And then we have our center differential lock here. We can go through our drive modes here. You get normal, snow, smart, and sport. So you can toggle all of those either way. And then we have our downhill brake control there, automatic brake hold. We can pull up the parking camera there. And then we have an electronic parking brake. Just pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. 2 cup holders, 3-stage heated front seats, center console cubby space, okay size for the segment. And then we do have this power sunroof, so manual shade goes back that far, and you can one touch click that. And while that's going back, I'll show you all the buttons and everything. And then you can also tilt it if you want to. And you can one touch close it. So a pretty easy sunroof to use. I like that you don't have to do a lot with it, and it's actually pretty quick to open and shut. But hazards are here. Now to the steering wheel behind the stalks, turn signals, that's low beams, auto, and we turn all the lights off. And then we can turn our high beams on and off there. And then auto, you can toggle the auto high beams there. Now for your windshield wipers, you do have intermittent, so that's high, low, intermittent, which we can adjust that there. And then we have off, and then one time, and then just pull up for the front wiper fluid. Now to the left side of the steering wheel, we do have our mode, so that'll go through your audio settings, whatever you have set up. So you can set that to Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, FM, AM, or you can turn all that off, whatever you want to set up there. And then voice recognition, volume controls, you can go up, down, you can click there for mute, which I like. And then you can go through your radio station presets here, Bluetooth button, and that's that second favorites button I was talking about earlier. And then here we can go through the sub-menus of the gauge cluster, and then when applicable, you can scroll up and down there. So you have tire pressure, and then output there, depending on how much power each wheel is getting, you'll see that there. And then our smart cruise toggles here, we can set all of that there. That lane keep system, or lane following system, is there. And then we have the gap adjust for the smart cruise there. And then we have that digital gauge cluster, which I have also grown to love. There's push button start, see that glare. And then finally, here's our key fob with remote start.